Hi everyone, today we're going to talk about setting up your own coffee bar. Now we have our coffee bar set up in our den, which works out great. It actually used to be a wine bar, but we don't drink much wine, so we figured let's set up a coffee bar. We could have just as easily set this up in our kitchen, but we chose this location because it seemed to be the best for our needs. Now, for setting up your own coffee bar, what you want to take into consideration are things like starting with what brew methods do you use the most and what equipment you have, the general workflow of preparing coffee, and then thirdly, how much space do you actually have. Okay, in this particular case we have plenty of space. This bar is 6 or 7 feet long. The space we actually use up is about 2.5 feet on one side of the espresso machine, about 1 foot on the other side of the espresso machine, and then we have about a 2-foot wide area for cleanup. Okay, now this bar is set up in kind of the order of our workflow. So it starts with washing your hands, and then we dose and grind beans. Then we use the tamping station to tamp the grounds. Then we brew the coffee, and then we steam the milk. And then it comes back around to this side where we put the grounds in the knock pot. So the workflow goes from right to left and then back around. Okay, so it works out very well for us. You use the same concepts when setting up your own coffee bar, depending on the brew method. Okay, so in our particular case, the equipment that we're using, I have 2 grinders. One's a Baratza, another is a Mazzer grinder. The Mazzer grinder I use mostly for espresso brews. The Baratza grinder I use for other brews as well as espresso. Just kind of depends whether I want more than one type of bean. I use a scale here for dosing the beans, and then I have a dosing funnel for transferring the grounds from the grinder into the portafilter. And then we go into an ECM espresso. Then we have a brew scale for assisting with the extraction of coffee into the cup. And then we have a variety of carafes here of different sizes depending on the type of drink I'm preparing to steam milk with. Okay, so now that I've kind of walked you through the workflow and our setup here, let me share with you the equipment that I use. So I use ECM espressos. This is a ECM espresso machine. It's not the top of the line machine, but it's one of their better machines. What came with it was a tamping station that you use through the portafilter. Actually fits right in this slot here. It provides you a nice solid surface for tamping coffee. Also, I have a DWT tool. What this is for breaking up clumps in the grounds after you grind the coffee. You can pick these up on Amazon. They're very inexpensive, $10 or $12. Then I have an ECM tamper. In this particular case, this is a 58 millimeter tamper because this is a 58 millimeter portafilter. This one's concave on the bottom. I actually prefer concave tampers over the flat tampers. I also have a distribution tool from Asso, and what this tool does is helps to distribute the grounds evenly in the portafilter before I actually do tamping. These are a great tool. I picked this off a whole latte loves if you want to pick one of these up. And then I have what's called a dosing cone here. This goes on the portafilter and makes it easier when you grind the beans to get the beans, all the grounds, into the portafilter without spilling. Okay, and with that in mind, I also have this Akaya dosing cup. It actually will fit directly into the portafilters, but I find it a little bit easier just to use the dosing funnel instead. Okay, this can be picked up on Akaya's website, and it fits right inside on the grinder. The dosing funnels, there's a whole bunch of different dosing funnels available. What you have to make sure of is getting the size that fits your size of portafilter. In this case, it's a 58 millimeter. You can pick these up at Whole Latte Love. You can also pick them up at ECM. You can also find them on Amazon. Okay, so as far as grinders go, I have two grinders. One is a Mazzer, M-A-Z-Z-E-R. It's a Mazzer Mini. It's actually an offshoot of the Mazzer Jolly or Super Jolly. It's got a little bit smaller motor and a little bit smaller hopper, but it has the same 64 millimeter flat blades in it. So it's a great grinder. It lasts forever, and you get very, very consistent results. It's perfect for espresso. I also have a Baratza 270, which is a more general purpose grinder. I can use this one for both espresso as well as things like pour overs and French press. So I keep this on my espresso bar in case I want to make a different type of coffee. Then let's not forget, I also have brushes here. These brushes, this is just like a normal paint brush. Use this for actually cleaning out the teeth on the grinders. And then I have this brush here for cleaning the portafilter and the group head itself. Okay. Also have these ceramic cups that come from Portugal. ECM makes them. They're actually a really nice size because you can use these for not only just espresso, but also cappuccinos and lattes if you want to get really big. So these are really nice cups, and they're not very expensive. And then I have a variety of carafes here for steaming milk. Some of them come from ECM, some of them come from other brands. Key thing to know here is you want to have multiple sizes. This is the size you would use for a very small single serving. This is the size you might use for a cappuccino. This is the size you might use for a latte. Okay, so this is a 12 ounce, this is a 10 ounce, this is a 6 ounce. Okay, and so you kind of want to have these different sizes available. Also pay attention to the lips on these. So this is a pointed lip, and these are rounded lips. The rounded lips make it a little bit easier for doing latte art than the very fine ones. So just kind of pay attention to those things. And then finally, I have an Akaya scale. This is a dosing scale. You can use this actually for dosing coffee, but it also has a built-in timer built into it, and it integrates with your cell phone, so you can get a pictorial view of your pull profiles when you actually extract coffee. These cost $250 to $300. Yes, they're very expensive, but you may find that they're worthwhile because they're also waterproof from the top. Okay, so that's our setup. All right, so go to it, set up your own coffee bar. We'll see you soon. We forgot one thing. Please follow us on social media. They are
Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, or Instagram.
Yeah, that way you keep up to date with our latest videos. See you later.
Thanks a lot.